Hi guys! So I wasn't going to film this today because I should be studying for my finals, but I really need a break, and I was planning on putting this up after finals, but you're going to get it a little early. So I realized I have not done any kind of reading wrap-up since the booktubeathon in July. I haven't read much since then, but I thought I'd show you what I have been reading. Not much since school started, but 7 books here. These aren't in any particular order, they're just the books that I've been reading since the booktubeathon. The first book is 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. I actually read this during school. I took kind of a break for a couple days and just read this. It was actually very sad and I didn't like it. I know a lot of people did, but I kind of thought it was boring and cliche, and I really didn't like how it ended. I gave this a 2.5 stars. Like, I really did not enjoy it. I don't even have like words for you guys. Like, I really had to force myself to finish it. I didn't like it at all. The next book I actually really liked, and that is The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, the first in the Heroes of Olympus series. Ugh, I am so excited to get into the series, guys. I loved Percy Jackson. I gave this a 3.5 stars just because, I mean, it's middle grade and it reads like a middle grade book, but I also read this during the semester. I started it before school started and I finished it within a couple weeks of school starting. It's about Jason, Piper, and Leo, who are all demigods that are new to Camp Half-Blood. Yeah. I really liked seeing all our old friends from Percy Jackson, and I really enjoyed this, and I have the next book, and I am in the middle of reading it now. This next book I got to read for Halloween. I thought it would be a little interesting, and that is Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. This book takes place in like an alternate world. It's a dystopian where there are people who live in these pods because the rest of the earth is pretty much uninhabitable. And there's like these awful storms that they call aethers. And then there's people who don't live in the pods who are pretty much savages. And you know, one of the pod girls meets one of the savage boys and blah, 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 blah. It was fairly predictable, but I mean, most dystopians nowadays are. And I actually really like this. I think I gave it a 3.5 to 4 stars. I haven't quite decided yet. It was what I wanted, so that was good. And I did like that it switched between the main characters' point of views. I thought that was interesting, so you got to see both of their sides of the story. Really hope there's not some sort of love triangle in the second book, because that would ruin this for me. Don't spoil me, please. The next book is a chunker, and I was really proud of myself for getting through it. It is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons. I loved this book. 5 out of 5 stars. This follows our main character Tatiana, and she lives in Leningrad in the 1940s. So she goes through the blockade of Leningrad, and I've never read anything set in Russia in this time period. And oh my god, it was so good. Tatiana is great, and then she meets a boy named Alexander who is in the Red Army, and oh, it was just so good. It's a historical romance, an adult book. I totally recommend this. It's just great. I really liked this a lot. And then next, I'm proud of myself for getting through this too, is Tatiana and Alexander, the second book in the Bronze Horseman trilogy. I did not like this one as much as the first, but it is still really good. It's just, I can't tell you much about it because of spoilers, but it just takes a really long time to get into. But oh my god, these characters, I just started the 3rd book. I really want to know what's happening. Next book I read was Rainbow Rowell's Landline, which is her adult fiction, her newest book, and I loved it. I read this over the summer before school started, and it's about a woman named Georgie McCool who writes sitcoms, and it's set during the holiday season, so if you're looking for a holiday book. Cat has got your paper bag. If you're looking for a good holiday book that's not too sappy, this is a good one. So Georgia McCool has this opportunity to write a sitcom for a major network, but it's during the holiday season, and her husband wants them to go to Nebraska, I think it is, to his family for Christmas, but she can't go because she has to work, and they have a huge fight. So he takes the kids and goes, and she stays, and she decides to call him on a landline and ends up talking to him 15 years before. So like he's in the past and she's in the present. So it's like him 15 years ago. And it's magical realism, and it's just really, really cool, and it's really integrated well. And it is just an amazing story. I cried, I laughed, I love Rainbow Rowell's writing style. 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommend. Whew, the last book I had to talk about, I did do a full review on this book, so you all know I read it, and that is Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead. This is the 5th in the Bloodlines book. I will link, I will link my review down below. Basically, I loved it. There is spoilers in the review. 5 out of 5 stars, Sydney's great, Adrian's awesome. I can't wait for the last book. I need it now. Those are all the books I have been reading. I know it's not a lot. I'm sure there's a few that I already sold, but you know, what can you do? I don't really have anything else. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.